Hey, it's Calmell.
And This Song Is Yours.
Please welcome back to This Song Is Yours, Kat and Calmell. Hello.
Hi.
How are you both?
Pretty good.
Pretty awesome.
That's good to hear. Good to hear. It's a very exciting time for yourselves at the moment. There's a brand new single out, Overstimulated, out right now. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Finally.
Of course. This is the first bit of new music for yourselves in, I want to say, when was Cry? Last year?
It was last
She
year.
was a while ago, yeah.
I'd say like first half of last year.
Yes, yeah. So very exciting. Can you tell us a bit more about the song and where it came from, or the songwriting process of it?
For Overstimulated?
Yes, sorry, for Overstimulated.
Yeah, we wrote it with Nick Ward, and it was probably the last song that we actually wrote for this project. It was the last piece. It was sort of like the middle point of the project, and yeah, we were just trying to look for that final moment, and then it happened with Nick Ward, and it was awesome. And do you want to talk about what it's about?
All right, guys, let's be so real. I can get a bit crazy, okay? So the song was inspired by my silliness when, picture this, it's a night out, I get a little bit crazy, get a bit overstimulated, hide myself away in a closet, run away from everyone, become a massive inconvenience, later face the guilt.
Huge missing persons case. Everybody at the party has no idea where Calmell
For me,
is.
I'm like, you can't find me.
And I'm like, she's dead. She's actually dead. I have to start writing my in memoriam. It's just, yeah.
No, eulogy and all. And that's what the song is based about, but a bit more emotional rather than goofy. So with the music video, we kind of wanted to portray that as well with, I don't know, just getting overstimulated. We wanted the visuals to be visually overstimulating. You can hear Kat's beautiful screams throughout the song as well.
We scream a lot. I'm very concerned when we were recording this why nobody came to check on us, because it was like blood-curdling horror movie screeching.
Do you think there'd be a protocol in place for safety? Yeah.
And we were right next to the office. They definitely heard it.
Do better, guys.
No one even knocked just to see if everything was okay.
No,
That's rude.
The cat could have just been slaughtered.
Been, yeah.
By me.
Ow.
The music video, please correct me if I'm wrong. Did you film part of it in Korea?
We
Yeah,
did.
we filmed all of it in Korea. It was actually in the middle of winter, so it was torture filming in our little mini skirts, wearing next to nothing as usual.
Skimpy little outfits.
Of course.
Had to be.
You can't expect any less from Kat and Calmell. So it's middle of winter. We're filming all the way up to 5 a.m. We also filmed another music video in Korea, which you guys will see soon, which we had to be immersed in the water, a river, in the middle of winter in Korea, which you'll see soon. But yeah, it was absolutely beautiful there, and we got a lot of the inspiration for the music video from Asian cinema. So we were like, you know what, let's just go to South Korea, and we did, and it was awesome.
That's very exciting, and also very exciting that there is more music coming. I obviously don't want to get yourselves in trouble or myself in trouble with anyone who might be here. Can we expect maybe another EP at some point this year? Maybe.
If we're being so real.
If you want, yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Sure. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's not an EP, or maybe,
Oh,
I don't know.
okay.
I don't know. I'm scared.
We will wait and see, and we'll cover that when it
There's
does.
simply going to be more music.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's very exciting.
That's all you need to know.
You're about to go out on tour as well next month with Mallrat and Bible Mummy.
Yes.
How excited are you for that tour?
So bloody excited.
I literally love Mallrat so much, and her music is just absolutely phenomenal. And for us to actually be on tour with her, I'm I don't want her to I want to be cool. I don't want to embarrass myself in front of Mallrat.
Be chill.
Yeah, see, right now I'm not chill. So I'm imagine me with Mallrat. on a plane sitting next to her, like,
I feel like you guys are pretty cool. Surely.
Thanks.
Yeah.
you don't mean that.
I think so too. We're so excited. Just excited to play live.
Of
Yeah,
course.
it's been a while.
Of course. You have joined us here at Hum Records, very kindly picking out some records for us. The last time we spoke was, I think, 2 years ago. You very kindly made us a playlist. There was a lot of 90s and 2000s R&B, and there was a lot of, similar to my music taste, sad girl indie rock.
I love that you like pointed like you knew. Like,
I know. I remember which one had the
Exactly which songs
which.
were
the
Yeah,
early
exactly.
2000s indie sad girl pop. Like, yeah.
Can we expect much of a crossover from your choices today, do you think?
Yes.
I feel like Kat and I have similar tastes, but also at the same time, like,
Super
completely
random, opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see what you pick out. We'll probably pick out like the same like artist or something.
Yeah,
like,
I
at least once.
I got here late and Kamal was like, I've seen so many things that you would love. And I was like,
Seen
no.
some Renaissance, some Lord. I'm like, yeah, Kat's all over that.
I'm very excited to see what both of you pick. I'll give you
I'm
some time,
nervous.
pick out some records, and then we'll come back to you.
Amazing. Thank
Cool.
you.
Thank you.
Cover my mouth with your hands, try to silence me. I'll scream out as loud as I can. Shouldn't bite the hand that feeds me, but you're not the man at when I still keep to you as soon dramatic. Don't cover my mouth with your hands, try to silence me. I'll scream out as loud as I can.
I'm starting with The Cure today. I listened to it accidentally when I was on a emotional, spiritual journey with some friends, and I literally cried when we heard, I think it was Boys Don't Cry, and then I listened to it later with my boyfriend, and we just like listened to this whole album and sobbed together. And every time I hear it, it gives me like such like an emotional rush, and I literally have goosebumps talking about it. So this makes me very emotional, so hardcore, so beautiful. Next.
However far away, I will always love you. However long I stay, I will always love you.
Kylie, a literal Australian icon who has been in my life literally since I was born. There's another album on here from Rihanna, spoiler alert, that this was all kind of in like a So Fresh CD that I had when I was younger. So songs like Love at First Sight, Can't Get You Out of My Head, like so nostalgic for me. And I just think about the house that I grew up in, and I had like a little blue CD player that I'd like listen to this album in. Again, super nostalgic. I think everything on here is just pure nostalgia based, which is fun. Gang of Youths, I first heard of them when I went to Laneway, I believe, and I had heat stroke. Yeah, I had heat stroke, and it was like my second festival ever, and I couldn't go in the mosh because I thought I was dying, so I was like way in the back, and I remember hearing, what song was it? I think I remember hearing The Heart is a Muscle, and it like resurrected me, and all I could think about was that chorus. Kat and I got invited to their concert, and I was like, I don't know any of their songs. And then that song came on, and it was so emotional for me, and I have not stopped listening to this album, and I got to kind of know the artist and their story and the story behind the songs, which makes this album even more special. My girl! Again, been in my life forever. When I first started singing and doing singing lessons, I think one of the first songs I've ever sung was Umbrella, and I did this duet with my ex-BFF, if you're watching this. We had like a little routine, we had like umbrellas, and it was like this whole thing, so sexy. I still listen to it now, and I just vibe with it. It's timeless. It's timeless, and it's priceless, and it's awesome.
When the sunshine, we shine together. Told you I'll be here forever. Said I'll always be your friend. took an oath, I'ma stick it out to the end.
1975, A Brief Inquiry into Online Relationships. I think this is my favorite 1975 album. Oh, I snatched it. I think this was my favorite album of theirs, only because when I was listening to it, I was so depressed. And every time I would listen to the songs, especially, which one was it? Hello? Inside Your Mind did something to my brain chemistry, and every time I hear it, I feel like I'm like sinking into a deep abyss, which is exactly what music was made for, right? Yeah, this song kind of makes me feel a little bit depressed, but like in a really good and inspired way. Again, favorite 1975 album. Doesn't get any better than this.
I'm gonna speed run this because, much like Calmell, this was the hardest task of my life. One thing about me, I'm simply incapable of being concise. So I think there's like 8 records here, but I'm gonna speed run it. So first we have the La La Land soundtrack. Confession, I only just watched La La Land for the first time like 2 weeks ago, but I've been listening to the soundtrack since the movie came out because I love the music so much. But I did watch the movie, I did sob profusely, and then I did have a meeting like a minute after I finished watching the movie with Calmell, and for like some stuff we're working on, and I did join the video call, face puffy, eyes red, tears streaming, and snot streaming down my face. So that's this. Next we have Faye Webster. I love this woman. Love her so much. She can do no wrong in my eyes. Listen to the orchestral versions of some of the songs that she did. Also very slay, but this album was the first album I ever listened to of hers, and Right Side of My Neck was on replay in my head, I would say, for the entirety of like 2019, so.
And I doubt you even paid. The right side of my neck still smells like you. The right side of my neck still smells like you.
Next we have Sade. Am I saying her name right? I'm gonna say yes. I grew up listening to this because my dad has like an unhealthy obsession with her, and he would play her constantly when I was a child, and so like Smooth Operator was basically the soundtrack of my life when I was like a toddler till a preteen, so that's pretty awesome. Shout out to my dad for having great taste.
No need to ask, he's a smooth operator. Smooth operator. Smooth.
Next we have Bjork, obviously. She's my queen. There's like a selection of female artists who, personally in my eyes, can do no wrong, and whatever they do, I'm like, yes, absolutely, I love it so much, thank you, mother. Bjork is one of them, absolutely obsessed. Just look at her little face. Recently, I've been really obsessed with the song Oops by 808 State, which she sings on, and it's just like, it tickles my brain, but classic record, classic Bjork. Next we have Childish Gambino. This album, it did restructure my brain on a molecular level, and when I listened to it, especially like Heartbeat, that song, it had a revival, like it had a revival in my personal soundtrack in like the last year, and I would just listen to it in my car. If I'm in a bad mood, I need to get pumped up to go somewhere, I'm just like, it's great, I love it.
I know what your boy like, skinny tie and a cup tight. He go and make breakfast, you walk around naked. I might just text you, turn your phone over. When it's all over, no settling down. My texts go to your screen, you know better than that. I come around when you least expect me. I'm sitting at the bar when your glass is empty.
Avril Lavigne. Formative, probably the first CD I ever owned as a child. It's between her or Taylor Swift, both iconic. Yeah, not much to say besides like she did raise me, and my personality from the ages of like 8 to 13 was completely based on watching Avril Lavigne music videos and trying to like mimic her cool personality, so very much influential.
Tell me why they have to go and make things so complicated. I see the way you're acting like you're somebody else, gets me frustrated. Life's like this, you.
Last one we have Laurel Hell by Mitski. Adored this album. Another one of my can do no wrong fantastic female artists list. Just adore her and adore this album. Every album, in fact, but this one is very good, and it's the most recent one, and I love it, so.
I'll be the only heartbreaker.
These three records are something that like Kat and I hold very close to our heart. It's almost what you could say like shaped our friendship.
Something that we share.
Something that we share with no one else. First of all, Stella Donnelly.
Obsessed.
Obsessed.
I think we've seen her play live like 3 different times.
Too many times.
Anytime, and I would go see again. I don't know what it is specifically about Stella Donnelly that has like bonded us so intensely.
No, it was literally say we went to one of her shows in Wollongong, was it? Cried.
Sobbed.
I remember she was playing like Boys Will Be Boys, like not a dry eye in sight. And I just had like all my friends there, and everyone was like just holding each other, and I was like, this woman is the bee's knees. Like,
A spiritual experience.
there was actually one point during COVID where we were gonna write with her.
Yes.
That was actually, I just got goosebumps. There was like a meeting set up and then another COVID outbreak.
It's at the very beginning of COVID.
Yeah.
It was like March, and we had a session with her and Taka, which was a producer we worked with before, and then it got canceled because it was right when all the shutdowns happened. We were like,
I was so devastated. I was like, I don't know when we can get this opportunity again. So Stella, if you see this, hit us up, girl.
Driving out into the sun, let the ultraviolet cover me up.
okay, next we have Phoebe Bridgers.
Need we say more?
Need we say more? I distinctly remember like when this record came out and then playing it, and then when I Know the End started playing, I was like,
I literally have goosebumps.
I physically am being transported to a separate realm, and this is life-changing. And I was like, I forgot, I think we had a really late night session, and then I was driving us like on the M5 or something, and I was like, Calmell, I need you to listen to this song. I think I like told her about the song previously during the day, but I was like, I can't play it for you now. Like, it needs to be when it's like 2 a.m. and it's nighttime, and I'm like speeding down the motorway, legally, not over the limit, I promise.
Also, side note, if you're from Sydney, like around this time, the M8 just opened, and the M8 had like all these cool LED lights, and I was like, I don't know if it was when I was with Kat or with my boyfriend, and this was like after Kat had showed me this, and I was like, our first time driving in the M8, like I need to show you this song. And when Kat showed me this, I literally felt like I was in psychosis in the best way possible. And it still hits the same, and we saw her live, Laneway? Laneway. And that was
Cried.
Like, crazy.
Obviously cried.
Duh.
Turned around, there was nothing there. Yeah, I guess the end is here.
Last but not least, we simply had to. BTS.
If you know, you know. 2017 was like the peak of our like K-pop obsession, especially with BTS. I remember the first time Kat showed me BTS, I got asked to do this like Korean like talent show. I'm not Korean, by the way. Also, it didn't happen because I think it was a scam. Kat's like, let me show you this boy group. and
I had like fully fallen down the rabbit hole at this point, and so when I showed it to her, I was like, okay, I'm gonna show you. First music video I showed her, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, obviously, and I was like, now let me tell you about the lore. Let me tell you about each of their individual personalities, and I'm gonna tell you about the lore and how the music videos connect and how it's all so much. And I like fully just ensnared her and entrapped her.
Was like I was in it. I was in it, and then Kat and I, like, we were doing like BTS covers and stuff, and it was just like
it was
really
such a fun
embarrassing.
time.
It was so fun
To have like something to live for. It was just great.
Wish I could have
I
that
feel
back.
like the peak of my obsessions with like artists and celebrities and just like personalities is usually when my mental health is like at its worst. And at the ripe old age of 17, I just really needed that.
Yeah.
That's something to latch onto, and they served me well.
Yeah.
I love them.
Want the money, money. Money, money. Want the money, money.